Hey everyone, Tina Howarth here at Academy Massage Therapy. Today I'll be answering the question, why stretch? I know that a lot of you think that stretching is good for you, but maybe you don't always have the time to get around to it. So I'm going to try my very best today, not only to share with you ways to easily slide it into your day, but also how to adapt it so that it feels comfortable for you, no matter what level you're at. Small confession here. I was really excited to do today's segment because when I stretch, I feel so good. And I have a little secret that I kind of have that takes stretching from uncomfortable and painful and makes it very soothing and relaxing. So I'll be sharing that with you today as well. Okay, so first up, let's cover the benefits of stretching for your mind and body. So number one, stretching increases flexibility, making it easier for you to move and giving you a bigger range to move in. This helps us perform activities better and decreases the risk of injury. So let's say you fall and your joint is not very flexible. What'll happen is it'll say, hey, I don't bend that way. And then you will either strain or sprain a tendon or a ligament. At best, it will really hurt, and at worst, it could be a tear that sometimes even requires surgery. So having greater flexibility allows joints more room to move before they injure. Number two, stretching increases blood flow to the brain and body, so you will feel more energy and less sluggish. Number three, stretching increases coordination and balance, making you more stable in your movements and less likely to fall. Number four, stretching decreases stress and tames the tension in both your muscles and your mind. And number five, stretching, as with any form of exercise, releases endorphins, your feel-good chemicals. This is the best benefit, I think, because it results in elevated mood, less pain, less depression, happiness. So here are some common props that you can use to make stretches more comfortable for yourself. You can use stuff that you buy specifically for it, but really I just use whatever I have at home. A book often works, a strap, or I use this yellow scarf because this makes me happy. You can use a rolled blanket, or you can use a pillow. So I want to show you a couple common ways of adapting this. Often people have a hard time sitting cross-legged, okay? So for the flexibility in the joint can be a challenge. So here's a really easy little tip. Roll up your blanket and then just sit the edge of your bum right on the end of it. And now you've lifted yourself up and it tilts the pelvis, and that's a little bit more comfortable. So another adaptation for this position, or for this position, if you don't quite have the flexibility in the hip joint, is to use a pillow. Slide it under there. Now you can rest the joint. The goal or the purpose of the prop is to make it fit you so that you can relax. You shouldn't be straining in stretching, okay? If you really need extra, just bend it in half and put that in there too. Now you can continue stretching and you have something to support yourself here. I want to show you the strap. The strap is a really good one if you can't quite reach things yet. So for example, a lot of people want to do this pike sit. So you can strap your feet and now you can use your stretch from here at whatever level you're at. Also, if you want to make it more challenging, you can use the strap to help you make things more challenging. So I'll try and give you an example of this one, although I won't exactly say I'm super bendy, but so for those of you that are really bendy and you want to add challenge, you can bring the strap up, just kind of for those that are challenged, if you're okay in full pike, and if you're really good at it and you really want to increase the stretch, you can use your strap again. Okay, so this strap is really handy at kind of adapting it so that it fits for you. Another common adaptation is for toe touching. So if you can't do the toe touching on your own, you can use a stool. And again, you want to use stuff that makes the stretching comfortable for you, okay? So if you need to use a wall, a chair, cushions, whatever you need, don't be shy, slide it in and you can relax. So this brings me to my secret for stretching. It's called, I know it's not very original, but it's true. It's called Relax and Breathe. So let me show you how it works. I'm going to use the pike sit as an example. So when you're doing your stretching, and see here, I already know I need an adaptation here because I'm stiff today. Okay, so get myself set up here. All right, so when you are in your stretch, you're going to sit up nice and tall, and you begin your stretch and you relax into the stretch until you start to feel some kind of pulling. So see, I'm already feeling a little bit of pulling here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up. And here I don't feel anything. And here I breathe. So just breathe for a couple seconds. Okay, and after I've done that, I can go a little bit further. And again, I'm just relaxing. I'm just letting the weight of my body fall into the stretch. Okay, and I'm waiting and feeling until I feel some kind of stretching. Okay, I feel a little bit of discomfort here, so I back off just a little. No pain in this place. You just sit around. It literally feels like you're doing nothing, but you're not. It is working, I promise. So breathe. Okay, and again, relax. Let yourself fall a little bit more. Okay, it hurts a little, so back up just a smidgen to where there's no pain. And breathe. Okay, and again, relax. Find that limit. When it hurts a bit, back off and breathe. Okay, so you can see that my first one, my range was a lot shorter, and then eventually it got deeper. So what is going on here in terms of a nervous system perspective is that when you stretch in the pain-free zone, you're letting your nervous system know that you're not going to be injuring it. And in turn, your nervous system helps you to relax the muscle tissue. And then when you go on your next one, after a couple seconds, you can actually go a little bit further. So stretching in that pain-free zone is super, super important. That is the secret, okay? This is called passive stretching, by the way. So I want to let you know when you should use passive stretching. It's great to use at the end of the workday or at the end of a workout. So try and do passive stretching, the same thing, relax and breathe in the pain-free zone for whatever muscle groups you worked on. You can do this for any muscle group. I would not recommend doing this as a warm-up before you exercise, especially for people who are doing sport on a little bit more serious level, because stretching passively like this weakens the muscle a little bit in terms of performance. Okay, studies have shown that it really doesn't enhance performance. So it's the goal of passive stretching is to use at the end, okay, of a session of exercise. So I'm going to talk about another type of stretching now that you would use. It's called dynamic stretching, and dynamic stretching is a great way to use before you start an exercise. Or I love to use dynamic stretching in the middle of my day as a little break. All right, so for dynamic stretching, I'm going to show you a couple. Again, like I mentioned, great to stick into the middle of the day if you've been stuck at a desk for a long time or stationary, and wonderful to warm up with. So I'll just start with some simple ones, little hand flicks, okay, and get them bigger, and shake and stuff like that just to get them bigger. Then shoulder rolls is a really good one for people with upper back, neck, and shoulder pain. Okay, so again like this. With dynamic stretching, what you're doing is you're using movement, and you are increasing the range and the speed at which you do your movement. But you are staying within your own range, okay, within your own limit. So you're not trying to increase flexibility with this, okay? What you're trying to do at this place is to get a lot of blood flow going, warm up the tissue, and of course, flexibility will come with this, but again, you shouldn't feel pain in this one. Kind of similar to the last one, okay? But you shouldn't feel pain with it. So we had done a couple of shoulder circles rather. So same thing with arm swings. I kind of start like small, okay, and then get a little bit bigger. So you would do this, okay, same thing, other arm. Leg swings is up next, one of my favorites. So start small. This is really good for people who have tight hip, tight knees, tight ankles. Start small, get yourself warmed up, and just start getting it a little bit higher, like a pendulum, a little bit higher, okay, to where you're comfortable. Nice dynamic stretch, all right? Also, there is cat-cow, one of my favorites, so I'm going to show you that. You can use cat-cow first thing in the morning or at the end of the day or in the middle of the day. It's a little bit funny. If you have your own private space in your office, you probably feel more comfortable doing it. Unless you're not shy, knock yourself out. If in the morning, I just want to make a note about this one. In the morning, I use, because the body is stiff from being inactive, I use cat-cow and I start with a slow pace and then I speed it up. And then I'm ready for my day. At the end of the day, I'm doing the opposite. I want to quiet down. So I start cat-cow fast and then I slow it down. And I don't know why I'm calling it cat-cow now. It's actually called mean cat. Okay, so forget cow, cat-cow, mean cat. Okay, so I will show you how that is done. So mean cat, you'll be starting on the hands and knees. And so when the cat's mad, it gets a really big round back. So really push the back way, way up and drop the neck and head. And then relax the back and let an arch happen, okay? So again, you're just moving between this range. You can even go side to side if you want. That's another plane for the spine. You can even do a little bit of twisting. That's the third way that the spine moves. So just some kind of ways again. And again, take your time in the range. You don't want to like be fast or jerky with it, okay? We don't want to confuse this with jerking fast movements and stretching because that can actually cause injury. And we're not trying to really increase our range. We're just trying to work within the range for dynamic stretching. Also, I want to talk a little bit about extensibility in your tissues. Every day that you come to stretching is a new day. So your how stretchy or how flexible your tissue are is really affected by a lot of things. Maybe you had a very busy day. Maybe you had a lot of stress. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe your hydration wasn't the best that it could be. Maybe you had a lot of stress. I think I might have said that. But anyways, all of those things affect extensibility of your tissue. So when you come to stretching, it's a very live in the moment kind of thing. It's very mindful activity. So when you come to stretching, do your best for that day. Forget about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow, okay? Stretch to your limits for today. And long-term flexibility will come with regular practice of stretching, okay? I think that is pretty much all I wanted to share with you for this one. So the next thing I wanted to cover was how to fit it into your day for those of you that just don't have time. So I like to stick my stretching in, if you don't have time to do it like after a workout, because it takes some time, is you can slide it into the middle of your day in little 2-3 minute increments, just like a little sip of water. So you might do something at your desk, for example. So if you're at a desk a lot, and we tend to do this, shoulders up and forward, and this kind of posture all day. So a couple good stretches is you would be doing all the reverse of that. So sitting up nice and straight, tucking the shoulders in or elbows in, and then opening up this way. And I even like to look up because then you get a little bit of stretch in here, okay? So like this, a little bit of stretching in here, and then I do a little bit of flicking, a little bit of shoulder rolling, okay? Just to kind of break it up. Here's that dynamic stretching in there, okay? Also, you might want to do something like stretching out the fingers. Super easy. You can slide this in anytime during the day at your desk, talking on the phone. You could do it while you're waiting for supper to come out of the oven, while you're waiting for your kids to come out of school, you at a red light, at the bus stop, wherever. I think you kind of get my point, right? So anywhere, anytime, you can stick little stretches in like that, and they all count. Your body will thank you for it. All the little stretching that you do throughout the day reminds the muscle to, hey, I don't need to be contracted all day. I can do a little bit of stretching, I can elongate a little bit, I can feel good. So that is kind of the great benefit of stretching. So this wraps up today's segment, Why Stretch? I hope the things that we covered today help you in your quest to feel better. Keep in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter, and our website, and thanks for spending some time with me. See you soon.